Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 5:30 on Saturday the 2nd of July. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a bit of a cool, fresh start to the morning this morning, which is actually quite pleasant after the heat that we've had this last few weeks. Sun is there, determined to break out. But I don't know if you'll notice on the grass or not this morning, but we've actually had a little tiny bit of rain as I was driving in this morning, and it was very, very tiny. Nothing to write home about, but welcome. I certainly need the water barrels topping up, and the outdoor raised beds can certainly do with a bit of water. But looking at that sun, despite these grey clouds, I suspect it's going to be another day of sun. We've had this a few times this week where it's clouded over and I've thought, oh, bargain, we're going to get some rain, and it didn't happen. Did have a tiny bit Thursday though, so I'll have a little look today and see what's in the water barrels, but I'm not expecting any great shakes there. Also hoping to take a look at the bees this morning. I'll wait until we get a bit of sunshine on there and they warm up a little bit and start moving around before I do that. But wherever I am doing, I'll keep you posted as we go through the video. Well, as usual, first things first, sorting the chickens out. They're happily pecking away there. Not sure what this is going to do today weather-wise. Are we going to get some rain? Some decent rain? I'll ponder while I have a coffee. Well, good morning, it's the weekend. Oh, hat needed to come off. I was getting a sweat on moving all of that chicken feed around. It's cool, but it's humid at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't know what it's going to do today weather-wise, I really don't. We did have a little spot of rain as I drove in. Had a touch of rain on Thursday as well, which was really nice. Had a quick look at the water barrels. They're not full, but they have been filling, which is good. I don't know how many litres, gallons I've used over the last few weeks. There's just over 3,000 litres sat in those tanks, and I reckon by the start of this week I was getting pretty close to being empty. I mean, I'm throwing hundreds of litres on the polytunnel garden room and raised bed every time I water. And I've been doing that consistently, at least twice a week, Monday to Friday, and then twice or daily over the weekend, just to try and keep the plants alive, really. The temperatures have been shocking. The lack of rain's been really, really testing. But everything pretty much has survived. We had the odd casualty here and there. Predominantly from the weather, but also from pest. That little solitary pea that I've been cultivating for weeks, that's gone. I brought it into the garden room here last weekend, and I'm assuming it's ants, because we do get ants in. We get ants all over the field, but I've noticed them increasing in number in the garden room, and I suspect it was the ants. Certainly isn't birds, because they can't get in here. So yeah, it's been a testing time with weather and pests, but we're not dissuaded. We've had some already. We've had some decent potato harvests, loads more of those to come. And at the moment, touch wood, the planting in the raised beds seems to be hanging in. The sweet corn, the broccoli, the swede, the onions, the garlic, all seem to be doing okay. So you never know. All bar the carrots. Carrots disaster. In fact, I'm contemplating getting rid of those buckets out of the polytunnel and just giving up on carrots this year. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I digress, as I often do. How are things with you? Wherever you are, what are you doing? I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Loads and loads and loads still going on in the big wide world. COVID has magically reared its head in the media. It's not taken over as it did the last couple of years, but media is banging on about 2 million cases last week in the UK. I don't know whether it's another distraction because other things that they want to divert our attention from have been taking centre stage this past week. Astute viewers might note that I've put a community tab post out this week about inflation in the European Union, or more specifically what's called the Eurozone, the 19 or so countries that actually use the euro as their currency. Not all of them do. It hit 8.9% this past week. Globally, the inflation rates are just going through the roof. And bear in mind, I've said it 1,000 times, this is the declared inflation rate. The true inflation rate you can double or more than double in some cases. A classic example, they were harping on about 8.9% inflation in the EU, and there was a graph that was published in one of the news articles, and it gave a bit of a breakdown as to different areas of the economy and what the inflation rate was for each of those different areas. And energy inflation rate was 40% in the EU. So I mean, come on guys, you're not telling me that they're perpetuating this myth. Well, they are, they're continuing to do it. That inflation is less than double digits. It's just nonsense, it truly is. Everybody here in the UK is going crazy right now. Cost of living crisis, as it's been dubbed by the media, all over the news stories. If it's not Ukraine, it's cost of living. And I would suggest that for your average person, the cost of living is far more important than the war in Ukraine is. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to people in the Ukraine, because I don't. I wouldn't want my country to be invaded, though having said that, I'm avoiding the temptation to delve into politics too much. But this country has been being invaded for decades now in the form of illegal migration. So, yeah, there are different forms of invasion, shall we say. But again, I digress slightly. So no, I mean, no disrespect to people of Ukraine when I might appear from time to time to play down what's going on in that part of the world. It is a tragedy for the people that are there and involved on all sides of the equation. But globally, there are far bigger things going on. And the only reason that this conflict, war, call it what you will, is been deliberately perpetuated by Western governments. It is a political act, and it's a I'm trying to think of a polite word for it. It's a despicable political act by Western governments who are deliberately perpetuating this conflict and causing massive suffering for the people involved and massive economic hardship for their own people. Really, guys, when it comes to election times, whenever that might be for your country, just remember this. All of the problems that we are suffering and have suffered for the last few years now have been deliberately engineered and manipulated and perpetuated by these various governments for their own political gain and for the gain of their economic or commercial buddies in the various political organisations, non-government organisations and big corporations that support those political people. With all that's going on in the world, it would be easy to sit back and just think, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. That's true in respect of the military conflict. There is absolutely nothing that the individual person can do to prevent government from doing what it is or seems hell-bent on doing, which is escalating and exacerbating this current military conflict. But there are things you can do to try and mitigate the effects of all the other stuff that's going on around you by way of prepping. I don't intend to delve into it too deeply in this video today because, in all honesty, I have so much stuff going on right now of my own, whether it's here at the cabin and on the land, whether it's the seemingly endless saga of me trying to move house, whether it's other family commitments. I've just got so much going on. I almost didn't do the video today, which might account for the reason why it's bobbing around so much today. But I will, I'll put the video out. I doubt you'll see me doing very much. I've got a lot of tidying up to do. Raised beds are getting a bit overgrown with weeds. I need to sort that out, as is the polytunnel actually. There are a few other bits and pieces that I wanted to do. I might move a few plants around from where they are currently into a different location to try and help them in their struggle against weather and pests. But I guess the main thing I wanted to say in the cabin chat today was, please don't let all of this government media spin and hype deflect you from what you really should be doing, which is building up as much stocks of foods and other essential items as you can, setting aside whatever money you can afford to set aside in terms of savings, because this is going to gradually escalate more and more as we go through this year. I really dread to think what the prices are going to be like come Christmas, which is kind of why I titled the video last week, Are You Getting Ready for Christmas? Just get it all now, whatever it is, whatever you can afford, get stocked up now, because it is just going to get more and more expensive and more difficult. I'll kind of close this video chat today on a note on what is going on in YouTube. I kind of skirt around this war in Ukraine business because there is nothing we can physically do, and Western governments do seem hell-bent on prodding away at this. It's like, you know, if you cut your hand or any part of your body and you get that little scab build up, your body tries to repair itself and form a layer over the skin to protect what's going on underneath until such time as it's been repaired, and that stops you getting an infection and making it all worse. But it's difficult sometimes to resist the temptation to have a little pick at that scab, because it gets a little bit itchy, doesn't it? And you pick at it, and then eventually you'll make it a lot worse, and it gets bigger and bigger, and you're, oh, I need to stop now. For my own self-preservation, I need to stop picking at that. Similar kind of thing with this war in Ukraine. The more we pump weapons and trainers into this conflict, the worse potentially it's going to get. For the people there, it's going to get a lot worse. But for everybody else, potentially it could get a lot worse. It wouldn't take much for this to get completely out of control, and YouTube seems to be awash now with people who also seem hell-bent on promoting World War III. Lots of them are actually spinning the idea that, oh, well, don't worry about it, we can use tactical nukes and it won't get out of hand and we can survive this, we can take out Russia without losing our own countries, cities, people. It's nonsense. Once one goes, whichever one launches first, the other side have no alternative but to assume the worst and try and get theirs out of the ground and out of the submarines and off the planes before they lose them. Nobody should be contemplating the tactical use of nukes. It's naive at best, and it'll only end badly. But YouTube and the media are not helping. They're just banging on about this, and it will be easy to get scared. I would be concerned, absolutely, because I am myself concerned. But I wouldn't focus on that. If that happens, there's nothing you can do. Doesn't matter how many preps you've got, doesn't matter what bunkers you have, it's game over. I would focus on the other stuff. And I am focusing on the other stuff. Apologies for the bit of a doomy gloomy topic today. I don't want to be doomy gloomy. I'd much rather be happy singing. But there's just so much of it around in the media and on YouTube. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one that's seeing it. If you're watching prepping channels, there are a few of the more popular ones that are just doing this every day. They're putting out endless talk about World War III. And it can be a bit depressing. So I would advise steer clear of those channels for a few months and try and build up your mental well-being. Because if you sat watching those for any length of time, it's not going to do you any good. So ignore them. Focus on the good stuff. Putting away long-term food storage. Getting a garden of some description up and running. At least if only to learn what to do if we do end up having to rely on them. Try and save money. Put it aside for the rainy day. You never know when you might need to buy something that you hadn't planned on needing. Focus on that stuff and not the other stuff. Anyway, I need to get cracked on. I've got lots to do. I'm not sure what content will follow the cabin chat in all honesty. But whatever it is, I'll keep you posted. And whatever you are doing, stay safe and well and enjoy your weekend. Well, it wouldn't be the weekend without the greenery for the chickens. They do enjoy having their little bit of lettuce. Given the weather, there's not going to be any clover for them today, so make the most of it, girls and boy. I'll just give you a quick run round the various planting. Nothing really to talk of in the garden room apart from the blueberries, which I do keep picking. Still waiting for this other one to ripen. Lots of green berries, but they're not ripening. I would have thought in the sun they'd have been going crazy by now, but clearly not. That's that solitary pea that I was talking about. It actually completely broken off. Something's chewed at it. Something's been trying to chew at these chilies, but they're hanging in there, and indeed they're doing more than hanging in there, looking pretty good actually, as is that pumpkin, which is stretching its way across the garden room now. Little run outside. I keep picking at this lettuce. I'm just cutting leaves and leaving them to grow back again here in the chickens' little raised bed, so they're doing really well. As fast as I cut them, they come back, so I can't complain about that. Raised bed, I need to do some weeding in here. These potatoes in the whiskey barrels, they're not far off now from being been ready for harvest. Something's been chewing away at these, not quite sure what that is. I suspect it's birds coming in to forage about in the actual bed itself. I don't really know what the attraction is of that one because they've not done it on the other two. They are dying back because it's that time of year for them, as are these outside the polytunnel. These are ready for harvesting now. And then I've got a follow on and some more in the polytunnel. Onions, huge growth on these. I am tempted to lift a few of these. I've been resisting the temptation for ages. You can see where I need to do some weeding. Polytunnel, quick run round. Cucumbers going absolutely crazy. Lots of flowers on those. Potatoes dying back. Flowers on the tomatoes. Lots of flowers. So fingers crossed. And again, cucumbers going rampant. So let me get the trowel out. We'll get some weeding done. And I'll catch up with you later. I'm just busy weeding the raised beds. Come to do this one. And look at this. A little snake has got itself tangled up in the netting. Fatal mistake for that because the birds have been at it, look. Chewing away. It's a little grass. Well, it's not little, it's quite large actually. That's a good couple of feet long. Grass snake. The trick now is trying to get it out of the netting. So let's see how I go with that. Well, there we go. That's the snake. That's quite long. That's a good 2 feet. And you can see my hand there. Quite long. Anyway, excitement over. Bit of food there for the birds. We'll get back to weeding the raised bed. Well, that's the raised beds all done, all the way down. Looking a lot tidier. Surprising amount of weeds come out of them. I don't know how they managed to get so infested with weeds so quickly. I mean, I do try to be as fastidious as I can to keep on top of it, but it just keeps coming back. Some wonderful sized onions in these beds. Really looking forward to lifting those. I will leave them. That's particularly big, that one. I will leave them for a while though. But I might be tempted to pull some of these potatoes now. I don't know what this weather's doing. It keeps trying to spit with rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain, if that makes sense. You know, the clouds are quite broken up. I don't know. All we can do is keep plodding away and see how we get on. Right, this wind's picking up, so I'm going to get these potato buckets harvested just in case that rain does come. So let's take a little look, see what we've got. Lots of slugs on the bottom of there, which is not good, but can't do much about that. Still surprisingly dry. A little bit of skin scab on these. Plenty of them, by the look of it. Yeah, look, that's very dry at the bottom. Very dry. Very, very dry. Anyway, let's see what we've got. It's no good complaining about it. It is what it is. I've either got potatoes or I haven't. A lot of small ones again. Yeah, a lot of small ones in this bucket. Mega dry. I have really tried hard to keep these well watered, That's one of the original ones, rotted away. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of babies. Not many big ones, I don't think, in this. Plenty of potatoes, just not very big. That's about the biggest I've got so far. Right, let's see what we've got. Again, mega dry at the bottom, but let's take a look and see. Yeah, very, 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 very dry in the bottom. And scab on these, which is not good. Yeah, these are quite disappointing in terms of skin. There seems to be a lot of skin scab on these. The bottom one there, and there. Oh, look at that, the rain's coming. I want it, but I didn't want it right now. Well, that's what we ended up with. This one, not too bad, but very small. There's the odd one, such as this one, which has got a bit of skin scab on. A little bit on that one as well. But overall, not too bad. Massive difference on this one, much less, and the skin much poorer in quality. Lots of skin scab on these. Pretty much every potato has got skin scab on. So a little bit disappointing with that one, but these were the early ones, don't forget, and that have been through what's been a bit of a mega drought. So hopefully we'll have better results as we start working through to the newer ones. Well, having harvested, I'm going to plant a couple more buckets of potatoes for succession planting. I've moved the newest ones out of the polytunnel to free up a little bit of space in there. I am hoping I'm going to be able to get some extra planting done in there towards the end of the year, which will need to be in a warm space. So with that in mind, I'm trying to free up as much space as I can in the polytunnel. I'm also conscious that it won't be long before the cucumbers and the tomatoes start to take over and create a huge forest in there. So as I did before, I'm just going to double layer these. Long-term viewers will know historically I used to plant a few tubers and then as they grew slowly bank them up, but I'm finding that this double planting method where you do 2 layers actually works quite well. So I'm going to stick with that. We'll know at the end of the year how good or bad it is compared to the others, but certainly in terms of plant growth, it seems to be working well. So I don't know if you heard that noise or not. That's actually a pair of green woodpeckers. When I was doing the potato harvest, I was watching one of them bobbing around on the grass, very, very close to me actually. I did try to grab the camera after I'd finished, just to try and give you a shot of it, but Smart Bird was having none of it. He wasn't falling for that at all, so I didn't manage to get a picture for you. But now that they're established as a pair, I'm hoping that they're going to make my field and the wooded area at the side of it their permanent little hangout spot now and produce some babies. We'll end up with a colony of woodpeckers. Not sure if I might come to regret that if they start demolishing the trees. But who knows. Right, I've got a couple of spares here, so I think I'll just pop one in there. And that'll do. Well, it's not really the weather for opening the hives. It just keeps trying to spit with rain, and there's a bit of a brisk breeze as well now, which is not good. But I'm going to have to give it a go and have a look. I really need to know what's happening. Do I need that third hive or not? Hard to say. I have been looking during the morning and I've got activity in all three hives. Bees are coming in and out of all of them. The burning question is, do I need to rescue that hive by putting the frames out of that nuke box in there, or have they recovered themselves? I mean, you can see now there are bees around the entrance coming in and out. I just don't know, but I guess we'll find out shortly. Let's take a little look and see what's going on. One solitary bee under there. Yeah, this top box is completely empty, nothing going on in there, which isn't a surprise, I guess. This first frame, the first box, has got honey. Half capped off on that side. They're busy filling that one still. Quite a few frames here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames in here are actually drawn out ready, and they've already started capping off that one. So we've got honey production for sure. The question is, what's going on in the brood box at the bottom? That's the burning question. A lot of activity there. lot of activity. It's hard to say. Sticking the frames because they do stick them together. So before I try and retrieve them, I just need to free them up a little bit. There are a lot of bees. Front frame. Capping off honey there, if you can see that or not. That side's just starting to draw out. Second frame. Oh, this is a bit heavy, this one. That's all the honey at the top there. Similar thing on this side. Top is almost full of honey and they're busy filling the bottom. It's this middle bit I'm interested in. I want to know, have we got a damn queen in here or not? These back frames are empty apart from second to last. That's all honey. And they're drawing out the other side. Yeah, you see there's still nothing in here. There's some nectar in those and a bit of honey round the outside. That's honey round there. Similarly, top of this frame's honey. They just seem to be putting aside honey and very little else. Now that looks like a queen cell and it's empty. So is that a bit of good news or not? What I want to see is eggs and larvae. That's what I want to see. Ah, now then, that's what I want to see. I'm a bit more hopeful now. And if you can see those capped off cells, those are the baby bee cells. Just looking to see if I can see a queen anywhere, but I'm really not experienced enough to be able to spot one bee in amongst all of these that is just slightly bigger than the others. I'm just not that good. Yeah, but that's encouraging. Those closed cells, that's encouraging. That's the first closed cells I've seen in this hive. So we might have just got away with this Maybe. Let's take a look at this one. Do you know, I hate these people who have these cars where they adapt the exhaust to make a bloody noise. Oh, that's even more encouraging. Can you see all those capped cells? And this side. Now I am getting excited. Okay. Take a look at this one. And again, look, we've got capped cells on there and a bit of honey around the top and similar capped cells here. Where is this queen? If I could just see. Not sure. Anyway, enough. That is encouraging. So I'm going to put this all back into as it was. Just shuffle these down a little bit. And get the top on. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, that's a bit stuck. It's going to need a bit of persuasion. Yeah, I think we're outgrowing this hive. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, this is massively overgrown. They desperately need some more space in here. Desperately. The frames are absolutely clumped together. I don't think we're going to see they're building honeycomb on top of there, look. You see that? Absolutely full of honey. And it looks like they all are. Oh, we've got brood cells there. And they're getting excited now. This is absolutely enormous. Ah, this is brood as well. but they're running out of space. They desperately need more space. Right. I just need to get rid of some of this comb off here. Yeah, I absolutely need to get another hive in here, full-sized hive. And sooner rather than later. Right, last one. Let's see what we've got going on in here. Top box empty, not much going on there at all. First one's also got some bees in it, but they don't seem to be doing a great deal. The rain is starting, that's not good. If it would just give me 5-10 minutes, so apologies if I rush this, but we need to be cracked on. First frame, second frame, nothing. Third frame, we've got a bit of stuck together here. We seem to be blending the frames into one. Yeah, back 3 frames, nothing. Fourth from the back is stuck to the other one with honeycomb. Honey. And there's something going on this frame. I can't quite see what it is from here. Again, they're trying to join the frames together almost in places with this honeycomb. And we've got brood cells, so that's good. Loads of honey again on that one, around the top. So again, plenty of activity. Got some brood cells, both sides of that. Not many though, in all honesty. I would have thought there would have been more in this hive. And this one, a few brood cells in the centre. The rest is majority is honey. This wind is just getting stronger and stronger. Honey, and they're drawing out more cells. So, just see if I can space these a bit bigger, stop them joining them together. Yes, I know. Oh. Right, let's get this put back on. Okay. I do get hot in this bee suit. Oh, really hot. Just got a bit wet as well. Started raining. It's been doing this all day, kind of a little spit of rain, then it comes bright and warm, and then it goes dark and spits a little bit more. It's not proper rain. I really could do with some proper rain. Give all those raised beds a good soaking, and the fruit trees as well, because I noticed they're starting to look a bit limp, and I can only do so much hand watering. Well, that was interesting, the bees. The old original hive, the one that I was really concerned about, I can't say that there's that many bees in there. I mean, there's a lot, but not when you compare it to a normal fully active hive. But the real encouraging sign was those closed brood cells, the baby bee cells. They weren't there before, and now they are, so that's really good. The little blue nuke box, the transport box, that really needs putting into a hive now. I'm going to have to go into a bit of a mission this week to get another third hive installed. They're getting massively overcrowded in there, and if I'm not careful, they'll end up swarming. I don't want that to happen. Third one, the newest hive. Lots of bees in there, lots of honey production going on in there, and not as many as the first hive, but there are definitely closed cells, brood cells in there, so they are producing some baby bees. So the two full-size hives, not as worried as I was about them only a matter of a couple of weeks ago. The blue one though, I am getting worried about that now for the opposite reason. There's too much going on in there. It's absolutely packed. So yeah, I need to get on it this coming week and get a third full-sized hive built up and installed. Don't know when I'm going to find the time to do that. Please hold on till the weekend, bees, and give me a fighting chance of getting it done. Anyway, I need to get tidied up. I see the sun's come out again. It's just one big bluff with this rain. 1 minute you think you're going to get soaking wet, the next minute you're baking hot again. Let me get tidied up. I've got loads to do away from here. Apologies for the nature and content of the video today. I really wasn't going to do one today. I've got that much going on, loads of stuff on my mind, getting a bit stressed out with stuff. Conscious that there's loads of stuff I could be doing down here had I got the time. The weather is playing havoc, just loads going on. So it's a bit of a haphazard video today. Hopefully we'll get back on track next weekend. Hopefully by then we'll have some definitive news on this damned house. But these solicitors just have this little ping pong battle going on with paperwork, driving me insane. Hopefully we'll have some news on that. Anyway, let me get tidied up and get myself off. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please do stay safe and well. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Well, that's it for this video. Loads to do outside of the cabin and the land, so I'm getting myself off fairly early. Also don't know what's going on with this damn weather. It's not helping me. the challenges we have. Look at this thistle, how beautiful is that, look. Beautiful colour on that. I'm normally complaining about thistles, but that's a particularly pretty one. Apologies to the bees for the disruption today. Had to be done. I needed to know what was going on inside. Now I do. It's going to be a bit of a blind panic trying to get that third hive in. Look at the state of this bloody fruit tree. That's birds. They're just landing on there and trashing the branches. I'd be surprised if these all survive. Some of them are looking a bit ropey. That one's been beaten up to death. I mean, you can see here, look, where they've been pecking away at this form. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's the one real problem I have here, is that I'm not here all the time. I'm very intermittent during the week, and even at the weekend it's only a few hours in each day. So the critters know this, and they just have a field day when I'm gone. They just come in like a little army and ravage the place. If only I lived here. Anyway, thanks for your patience today with what's been a bit of a weird video, I know, and I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll improve as the stress levels reduce. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and well, enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch up with you again shortly in the next video. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.